Hi, this is Sara Levin, the Artful Inker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I've got a Hello Ladybug 60s inspired card. Let's get started. To start our card, we're going to use the Hello Ladybug stamp set and do some stamping. And I've got a piece of basic white, and I'm going to start with Melon Mambo ink and the daisy. And I'm just rubbing all around. I'm not mashing so that I'm not picking up ink on my block. I've got one petal here that isn't fully inking. And then I'm going to do the same rub each time I pick up ink. Okay, and that's all of the Melon Mambo. Let's put that out of the way and bring in my polished pink. And let me wipe my stamp a moment. Okay, and let's do the polished pink. And we're going to need one more, so let's bring in another piece. Okay, and let's move that aside, and we'll stamp that. And then I'm going to go back in this first one here. Let's see if I can match up my stamp here and darken it just a little bit. Not as clear as I would like, so we're just going to take the time and go ahead and stamp another. Okay. And then let's pop this out of the way and bring in my So Saffron ink. And we're going to add a center to each of these flowers. Move them up here. We'll skip this one that I didn't quite line up. And as you can see, I'm not worried about whether I've perfectly aligned this center. It doesn't matter. Okay. And then, let's pop these out of the way a moment. We need some leaves to go with our daisies. And I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz. And then I've got the back side of the wings from Hello Ladybug. So the dots are really against the block. And let's see, where's that scrap paper? And here we go. Let's stamp off here and then add a pair of wings here. And we're going to do one more set. Okay. And there's our stamping. And then we need to move on and do a little bit of punching. So I've got my medium daisy punch. And while I'm punching, I should tell you, if you are not already aware, that the Stampin' Up! New annual catalog for 2022-2023 went live today. Quite excited. Okay. And we're just going to work our way around and punch all of these. Now my color combo that I've used today is from a 60s themed challenge. And you can find the photo inspiration over on my blog. There's a link for that in the description below the video. And then let's go ahead and punch those wing leaves. And we'll just slide this strip down in here. As I mentioned the other day, I've got a load of these little strips left from a wedding invitation order. They were offcuts, and of course you save all of the good scraps. Okay. And we're just about ready to put this together. Let me move all of these stamps out of the way. And for our last bit of stamping, I've die cut a circle here from Rich Razzleberry. And of course we need a sentiment for our card. I'm just wiping this with my embossing buddy. And then let's bring in my stamp from Hello Ladybug. And this is just the hello. Let's scooch that up there a little bit. And I love stamping on circles because any way you stamp is straight, because you just turn the circle a little bit. Okay, let's take our piece of scrap paper here. Just sliding this off so I don't get my fingers in the embossing powder. Or going to put the embossing powder on, but I didn't want to get my fingers in the ink. Let me grab my tweezers. And again, so that I don't get my fingers into things, I'm going to come and give it a good flick and make sure I've rubbed all of the excess off. And then let's, pop this into the pot over here so that we can get that closed up. And then grab this again with my tweezers and get my heat tool. And I'm going to start that and let it get warm and then start and heat from behind. That way I'm not blowing my ink around. My embossing powder. There we go. And of course with the tweezers, I'm not heating my fingernails. Okay, so let's put this card together. So for the next step, I've already used the Stylish Shapes dies. They are new in the new Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. I will have a chart for their sizes over on my blog, and as you can see, they're graduated and they all have stitching on them. And I've used pairs of the dies, like you see here, held together with the washi tape so that I keep the size the same, and spacing, that is. And what I've ended up with is a piece like this, where I have cut the white circles out first, and then cut Rich Razzleberry circles and put all of that back in like a puzzle. And then I've got another piece of basic white cardstock in that 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to glue these two together so that this piece has plenty of support, and I'm just adding some multi-purpose glue around on each of these little die cut pieces so that once I remove the washi tape, everything will stay on the card. Let's give it, I think that looks pretty good. Okay, and as usual with the multi-purpose glue, you don't have to glue every single spot. You just need enough to hold things together. So, and with the wiggle room, it didn't matter that I didn't put it down completely. Okay, so that's been patted together. And while that dries a moment before we move on to the next step, let's glue our daisies together. So just a dot here in the center. And then we're going to offset these so they are going to look nice and full. And one more. Okay, and then while we're giving this just another second to dry, I'm going to cut my wings apart, and then I'm also going to give this just a little bit of a trim. And the punch just keeps us from freehanding altogether. I just want a little narrower leaf. And I'm going to cut all of these, even though I may not want all of them. Okay. And now let's finish our card. Let's set this aside here a moment. So next I want to bring in my Take Your Pick tool to help me remove my washi tape, because I don't want to pull my pieces loose from that backing piece. Just want to take your time with it. Okay, so you get the idea. And then I'm going to pull these last two off camera and be right back. Okay, now that all of our washi is off, we're going to add some dimensionals to the back of this piece. And then I've got a thick basic white card base. Okay. And then let's start and place our daisies. And since we've doubled the daisies, we can get away with putting a dimensional on the back. Okay, and then I'm going to want a cluster here. Let's go ahead and put these on. And figure out my spacing a little bit. As much as possible, I want to leave some of the circle interaction visible. this one in between these two. And right down here and fill this corner. And then I've got one more here that I stamped earlier, and we're just going to pop it up here. So we've got the feel of the flowers going, and then let's tuck in some leaves to bring in that little bit of green shade that was in the inspiration photo. Okay, and almost with this last one here. And then we need our sentiment, and I'm going to grab, a full-size dimensional will work. Let's see. And again, we're tucking a little bit and just bringing, let's see, don't want to quite lose. Trying to separate the flower petals here and tuck this down in this flower, because I'd still like to see the that little bit of So Saffron in the center of that flower peeking out. Okay, and there's my 60s inspired Hello Ladybug card. Thanks for stopping in today. This was Sara Levin, the Artful Inker of theartfulinker.com. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with your card making friends. If you're in the United States, you can find a link for my Stampin' Up! Store in the description below the video. And of course, when you subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell, you'll be notified the next time I upload a video. Have a great day. Bye.